Forgot to turn the audio on.
Hey, I've just got a notification.
There we go. Good evening. Welcome to Vape Talk UK, episode
231.
231. Hashtag, it's only banter, mate.
Here's your banter.
You went a bit farmy then.
Yeah, a little bit. But we have 6 or 7 people watching, so...
Ooh. At any one time.
At any one time.
We're wasting these. No one's watching.
Awesome.
We are missing them.
We are missing everybody. But we are the only streaming show on the internet.
And we're a business.
We are the first one. And a business. We're a registered business.
I suppose I was put a link up in Facebook, really, hadn't I?
Yeah.
That might be an idea.
We have 2 guests with us. Well, one's sort of a guest, and one of them is definitely a guest.
Which
one's which?
So in your bottom left, we have Mr. Alex McKenzie, who is doing a lot of stuff in the background for us. Who's been finding people and content and helping us out and keeping us on track. And on your bottom right of your screen, we have Mr. David Mottram, who you will have seen in many, many chat sections. There we go. He's flashing up his Pilgrim vapes. There we go. Look at that. You can even see the drill in the background, so you know he's legit.
Yeah.
Like,
I couldn't have placed that better, really, could I?
That's just for show. He uses a daedalus, really.
Hi, Gilfly. No, there is no excuse for missing the last few shows. I'm going to silence you in punishment.
Who? What? What's happening? I was
No, I'm
posting links.
I'm not going to silence him. That'd be mean. Dennis, welcome.
Right, Dennis.
Dinky Zaranov, I recognise you from last Friday.
That's Martin, isn't it?
I couldn't tell you.
I can't see Twitch and it's killing me.
Yeah, I'm reset my password and it's still not working.
How can you guys not see Twitch?
No, not at all.
Fail.
I only knew I was coming on like 10 minutes ago. Just
Oh dear.
Dale Walker. Yep. Punish me. Punish you.
He wants punishing.
Yeah, it's going to cost you 1,000 bits though, mate. Like, don't do this shit for free. Like, you think it's about the reviews. It's actually just about the money.
It's just about the money. Because at any one time we have 6 to 7 people watching.
Yep.
And if you don't like us, unsubscribe. Block us.
Because for every one of you that leaves, 5 will replace you. At
Innit?
least 5 or 6 will replace you.
We don't care.
No.
We're control freaks. We're control freaks. Do you think we do this as a hobby? You're wrong. You're wrong.
I need all the friends I can get. Shut up.
Holy shit. Thank you, Dale.
Wow.
Cheers, Dale. Right, your punishment is I'm going to ban you. No.
No ifs. No buts. It's a fact.
I only came on because you said there'd be butts. I'm fucking out of here, man.
Chris ain't on tonight. Otherwise, there might have been butts and balls. Yeah, honestly, Dale, thank you for the bits. That's amazing.
Really
I will think
appreciate
of a
that.
punishment.
But did you know that freedom of speech does not exist? Fucking watch yourself. We will shut down any channel, any page, any channel.
We don't care.
We don't care. Anyway.
I bet you feel better now, don't you?
Yeah.
I feel a little bit sweaty. I think my
Schwarty.
Schwa-
Like a little.
Very Schwarty. Sorry.
Anyway.
Meds are kicking in.
I think Gilfly's cottoned on.
I'm watching
Yeah.
Dum Dum. Okay. Thought you might have liked that.
I've watched it about 50 times today.
Mark Ski, fucking Robert the Bruce, you fannies. That's actually put me in quite a good mood.
I'm enjoying it. Chandler will be joining us at some point this evening.
Because we're cash grabbing bastards.
Yeah. Fucking rolling in money like Scrooge McDuck.
The DuckTales. Woo.
I've never seen that film, so that whole sort of illusion's wasted on me.
You know who Scrooge McDuck is, though, don't you? And his massive piles of gold coins, which he's diving in and out of like a sword.
Massive piles.
He's just got massive piles.
That's how he got the money.
Hanging out his arse.
Yeah. So you don't get money for nothing in this world.
Gotta love the butt grapes. That's what I'm saying. Oh, so have we had a good week?
Up until this point, no, not really. Yeah.
I was in bed from Sunday until this morning, which was nice. So I'm having a cracking week.
Well, you're here, so that's a bonus.
And thank you for having me.
That's all right.
Our door's always open.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Alex? You all right?
Better than last week.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Is that it?
Better than last week. Massive wine
Oh,
glass.
I see. Oh, no, it's gin.
With neat gin.
It's gin.
Hey, he's in Twitch now. He's in
Twitch. You can
He's
see the comments. What we vaping on then, people? Dave, you can go first, Mr.
Hey.
Mottram.
I'm a little ill prepared. So what I've been vaping throughout the day is Dwarf 16 on DNA Coral Lost Vape thingy.
Nice.
Homemade 3S lipo box DNA 250 with a Suck My Mod passage on top. I bought that for £7. Yeah, I think. Not sure if I can show this, but I'm showing it anyway. Project Parmello with a Hellfire Sentinel on top. And thingy with a Berserker with something secret inside it.
If that's you being ill prepared, I don't want to see what prepared is like.
No, man, I vape loads of shit, man. I love vaping. Oh, vaping all day. I vape in the morning and I vape in the afternoon. And all night. I love me vape. And a dwarf with a, Jack Vapor DNA 75. That's kind of it. Oh, an Aegis boost pod that's dead behind me. I think that's it. Liquid wise, yeah, Premise Reason. That's in.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yep. And what's that other one? I'm Premise Logic, which I'm bang into. And the other ones have got Mana Bush of various descriptions in. These two, I believe, are available from some shonky site, Vapor Way, Vapor Day, Vapor Summit or other. That
Vapor,
frankly,
Vapor Gay.
it wasn't free. I wouldn't buy it.
That's a fair comment.
Alex is a good friend of mine, which is precisely why I don't shop there. So hang on, that's me. That's the best plug you're getting out of me tonight, Alex.
Nice.
Alex,
Mark?
what are you vaping on, mate?
Oh, Alex.
SVBM
Guys, did you just sniff your fingers?
with the Citadel with Jedi Spunk in it.
Well, hang on. It might sound like a really daft question, but what does Jedi Spunk actually taste of?
Vanilla custard.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it salty?
A little bit. It's from Simon McDermott, if you know him, then you know what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has way too much salt in his diet.
Billet box with a juice from Cyprus code Vapor Muff Cake.
Muff cake.
Muff cake. Nice.
Cake, yeah. And then Precisio on the Mirage.
I do like the Mirage.
Oh, I do. I really love it. And then a juice picked up in Malaysia from Canada called Donkey Bastard.
Donkey.
Donkey.
That's
Oh.
good because it's 10 milligram in the bottle. No next shot required.
Donkey. Hashtag, it's only banter, mate.
It's only Banter.
Sorry.
Oh
I'm not finished.
no. No, there's 2 hours of this. Strap yourselves in.
There we go, the accent's spot on.
There we go. That's it.
I'll take that any day of the week.
I'm vaping on my Squid Industries double barrel. I have a K-Fun on top, and in that I've got Dinner Lady 50/50, the lemon tart in a 12 milligram, which is actually quite pleasant.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, it is lacking a particular brand of coil in here.
Oh, here we go. Hashtag free shirt.
I refer you to my previous friend request comment, Kaz.
Yeah, I still haven't had a friend request.
Hashtag free samples.
So you blocked me basically. It's not getting any better for you, is it, Kev?
And in the other device,
Wait,
I've
you
got...
blocked DM.
I did not block DM.
Yeah.
He was like, you haven't
Yeah.
accepted my friend request. I'm like, you haven't sent one.
I bet you, like, before about October last year, is like that guy in the comments really pisses me off. I'm not
Right,
having anything to do with it.
I'm finding
And
you
now
that.
look, I'm in your front room.
There we go. Friend request sent. Now it's you who has to accept or deny my friend request. Tastes like what Flash smells like. Yeah, for the first 10 minutes, I will agree with you. After that, you get so numb to it that it just tastes like biscuit and cream.
No lemon, just biscuit and cream.
Pretty much, yeah. But it serves a purpose. And in this, I've got some Heisenberg on the Minikin with my K3 because I fucking love my K3. Unfortunately, I'm not nearly as high end as you two, but needs must.
And all that.
And Mark, what are you vaping on?
Still on the Danny Mini. Still on the Reaper 3. Still bashing away on 12 milligram Fred Astaire. Where's my juice gone? Pikey cunt stole my juice.
Get your lap.
It's on the floor.
Normally ends up there, doesn't it?
Where'd it go? I'll just lie then. Soy. Loving the soy still. And again, there's about half a bottle of that left.
How old is that?
Probably the only bottle left in the UK of that, I would hazard a guess. And also lemon crack on the Purge.
Very nice. Cloudy.
There we go. There we
You got Martins Coles in there as well.
No, but I did actually put a pair in. I was whinging last week about my Petri,
Yeah.
and I couldn't be asked to make any calls up, so I put a pair of
Qualology? It's the
No.
same guy.
I put a pair of, what would they be? 1 ohm. So a pair of those 0.5s, 0.5 in there, and that was a pair of coils wasted. Serves me right for
Well,
not
yeah.
getting the wire out, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's get on with the news.
News.
Let's do some news. First bit of news, we're a registered business. No. Right, so first bit of news, bit of UK news. Vaping at the wheel could see drivers end up with a £5,000 fine or a ban. Vaping is increasingly popular. In September 2019, the anti-smoking charity Action on Smoking and Health conducted research suggesting that some 3.6 million people in the UK have taken it up. With that many people vaping, it's no surprise that there's a significant number of drivers puffing away on the roads. If you're involved in an accident whilst vaping in your car, or even if police see you steaming along with a car full of vapor, you could be liable for a £100 on-the-spot fine and 3 penalty points. In some serious cases, or cases where the fine is contested in court, this can escalate to a maximum of £5,000 with up to 9 penalty points and even potentially a driving ban. Nick Lloyd, the road safety manager for the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents, that guy sounds like a really fun dude, doesn't he? Has written on the dangers of vaping in cars. He says any secondary activity such as eating, talking on a mobile phone, or indeed vaping, which is whilst undertaken whilst driving, is the source of distraction and creates increased risk of being involved in a crash. Now, I did do a little bit of extra research and talked to a few people, and a lot of them said that it's only if you really like hot box your car. If you're vaping out the window, there's no issues there. But if you decide to fill up your car with vapor and you can't see shit, then you deserve to crash.
Then you're a twat.
Yeah.
It's just common sense, isn't it?
It's the sort of other levels of remonstration sort of commensurate with device levels. So you get busted with an Ego CE4. It's just on your bike, son. But you've got like a double stacked, what do they call them? Those big ridiculous bow staff things.
Twat tubes.
The trendy kids use. That's it. You're looking at a 6-year stretch.
Yeah. Or you got one
that's how it should be.
Or you got a toolbox with 34 18650s in it that takes 2 hands to operate. You should probably go away.
So I can't eat whilst I'm driving.
Oh, I always eat whilst I'm driving.
I can't talk on a mobile phone vape. But it doesn't say anything about masturbating. That's okay, right?
I would assume so.
As long as you're not watching porn on the screen.
And no one else can see you, because then that comes under public indecency.
Oh, I'm glad I don't drive. It sounds a nightmare.
Oh, honestly, mate, it's just not worth it.
You can do all of that on the bus. It's fine.
Oh dear. Right. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, don't be a twat. Don't cloud your car out, or you end up with a fine. Anyway,
I think that's reasonable.
Seems fine. Right, so Philip Morris have stepped up their vaping plans, and they're keeping their close ties with Altria. Philip Morris International is ratcheting up its efforts to become the world's largest maker of alternatives to cigarettes, and indicated that it hasn't given up on a potential reunion with its sister company, the Altria Group, at some point in the future. Philip Morris is getting ready to launch a new vaping device, the IQOS Mesh, early this year, and their chief executive officer, Andre Kalantzopoulos,
the giant.
Andre the Giant. That's exactly where I was going with that.
He told Bloomberg News in an interview in Davos, Switzerland, that there will be consolidation in the market for e-cigarettes, and Philip Morris wants to be on the forefront with its IQOS brands, which also sells devices that heat tobacco rather than burning it. I'm not going to get into the whole how IQOS is bullshit thing, but they said that they'll launch its e-vapor IQOS Mesh product early this year and could roll out the vaping pen in 52 markets where it's already selling its IQOS heat sticks. So in other words, they're bringing out a slightly more, a mesh-based cigarette.
What?
It doesn't even come under vapor because it's not vapor, it's smolder.
So there's heat not burn, but mesh.
Mm-hmm. Imagine the dry hit off that.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I don't get it. Why would you want to smoke? Words.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
They do say tobacco's best on mesh.
Better flavour.
Chris.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest though, we've got to expect that the tobacco companies are going to be doing stuff like this. They've got the money to do it, and they'd be stupid not to do it.
What's the ramp-up time like?
Immediate. From nothing to house fire and like that.
Are you having another poke at me? Is that where we're going with this?
No, it wasn't. It genuinely wasn't a poke at you.
Altria have teamed up with E-Leaf, have they?
That was a poke at you.
And their first device is called Fag Power.
The e-leaf IFAG. Right. So anyway, this is a bit more of a... See, I found a really cool article, but it was like a good 10-15 minute read. So I've tried to squish it down a little bit. So it says the vaping panic is starting to look a little bit like a new drugs war. The vaping epidemic was one of 2019's biggest health and policy stories. The really bad news is yet to come. So over the past year, a media narrative has emerged given that any given American could be maimed by a Juul. Government officials also piled up. Just this week, Surgeon General Jerome M. Adams tweeted, the CDC reports a total of 2,602 hospitalizations and 57 deaths associated with e-cigarettes and vaping lung injuries. A single death or hospitalization is one too many. Lawmakers have tripped over themselves to impose sweeping bans on flavored vapes, and in some cases, all vapes. And that's all fed back into the public opinion. A YouGov Economist poll released last week showing that 67% of US adult respondents supported the banning of flavored vapes. Even smokers, the groups whose lives could be saved by switching from tobacco cigarettes to nicotine vapes, mostly support such bans, with 56% of respondents who identified as smokers giving their approval. But there is one important aspect of this issue that's completely been buried. Just about everyone's understanding of the vaping epidemic is completely wrong. On Friday, the CDC toned down its blanket recommendation against all vaping, instead targeting its recommendation against THC vapes. But it might not be possible to correct the resulting mass ignorance that is laying the groundwork for a new drugs war. Essentially, what this article sort of harked back to was the misunderstanding during things like Prohibition era back in the 1930s, misunderstanding of alcohol versus what it was actually like. There was also something to do with the reefer war of the 1930s, which was actually predominantly brought on by the fact that people didn't understand it, and there was a huge influx of Polish immigrants into various states who smoked a lot of weed, and people didn't like that. So it's very much ignorance that's going to fuel this, and it is going to get to the point where it's going to be a black market for vaping. There is going to be misinformation spread globally about it, and it's dark.
Do you not think that these governments and these policymakers are eventually going to get bored?
Nah.
They're going to go, you know what? We've publicly tried. It's made no fucking difference. Look at Prohibition.
Yeah.
It's made no difference. Just leave them alone and let them get on with it. You know what they want to do is get fucking Greta involved.
Oh no.
Let's get Greta involved. Let's get Greta talking. She's at the
she's in Davos at the moment.
Yeah, she's talking at the minute. Maybe should have a threepence about vaping. That way, guaranteed, America will go, fuck that.
Yeah. Just need someone that they're so preconditioned to ignore to talk about it.
Send Vic up. No.
Someone needs to edit Greta Thunberg arguing with Vic.
So someone please cut that together in a video.
Because we
Leave
could...
Vic alone. He's all right.
Oh dear. So yeah, the thing is, it's like I don't think they will get bored of it. Whilst they're still getting pressure from the tobacco companies, I don't think they will get bored of it, because that's a never-ending stream of money that is massively going to affect them. And whilst that money's in jeopardy, it's to their benefit to try and shut vaping down.
I think we'll see a process of an extreme clampdown, which will then convince us that the piecemeal kind of heavily regulated and taxed and controlled and monopolized by big tobacco offering that they'll make is acceptable. So that they'll hit us fucking hard, so that we'll be happy to accept kind of like a lifetime of being gently slapped. I think
that's a really good way to put it.
which is okay, and I think that's the way it will go. And
what, worldwide?
Yeah, with some pockets of extremism, of outright bans and harsh enforcement, and then little havens of that will become sort of vapors utopias like the UK. But I think the whole process is a kind of like going hard on us first, and that will then make us far more pliable to accept. Well, look at what's happening in the States with, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but a lot of hardliners have now come to accept the age 21 restriction, whatever it's called. You know, you hear a lot of people on YouTube like saying, yes, yeah, you know, we'll accept that and we'll accept this, but don't take our flavors, don't take this, we'll accept this. So we're being put into a position slowly where we'll accept things that if we were initially presented with, we'd have kicked off about. Do you get what I'm saying?
So do you think we've got more reform to come?
Oh, definitely. And I don't think we even though like Brexit and all that kind of stuff, I don't think we can afford really to be too relaxed about the upcoming revised TPD. I think there'll be things snuck into that we're not expecting, and I think we're all kind of super chill about everything. But I think short fields are going to get fucked at some point, and probably in some senses rightly so, because there's an awful lot of cowboy liquids out there, and that you know can't even demonstrate that they're in compliance with the general product safety directives and stuff like that. So I'm kind of behind some of these sort of more, to others, scary ideas. But I don't think we, certainly in this country, are ready for any kind of sneaky legislation or tighter controls that I believe are going to come in. And I have no basis for any of this whatsoever. This is pure conjecture.
I agree with what Matt's saying in chat that I think they're going to, as soon as smoking drops, they're definitely going to put bigger taxes on vaping. But I think that's fair. If it's controlled, I think that's fair enough. As long as it's reasonable taxation.
Where would they hit us with the tax? Would they, again, we're just assuming, where do you anticipate, where do you expect that tax to be put in? Hardware, nicotine?
On liquid, I reckon.
Yeah, liquid.
Hardware would just be
like
VAT,
cigarettes.
But liquid, or maybe nicotine.
Yeah, it'd be done. I mean, like we were talking about, I think it was last week, we were talking about the levels of nicotine taxation in some states. So I think it was $1,000 for 100 milligram of nicotine concentrate, give or take. It worked out at about $1.33 per 20 milligram of salt, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, I heard they worked out against dual pods. So volume of nicotine per milliliter in a dual pod.
Yeah.
What are they? About 1.6, aren't they? 1.6, 1.8
yeah,
now?
and 50 milligram salts.
Yeah. So that'll be where they tax us big time. The thing is if they were bringing in laws, like restrictive laws, people will either find their way around them or just outright ignore them.
But as a company, as a manufacturer, as a designer, as a developer, you've got to toe that line. You can't afford not to. You get caught, your pants are coming down. They're going to make an exhibition of you.
Your pants will be down from 3 to 5.
And maybe that's what it'll take. Maybe it'll take a handful of people being dragged into their local prison to do a short stretch. Do you think?
Whoever's caught first would be made an example of.
But will they?
Well, look back to the TPD. I mean, how many big companies got made an example of selling tanks that were bigger than 2 mil, or selling nicotine in bottles bigger than 10 mil that had nicotine in? I can't name a single company that was made an example of, because they had some pretty big, scary fines that they were talking about. But then they realised that they just don't have the infrastructure in place to be able to look at it, because the people they hire to do basic trading standards stuff have no knowledge of the industry. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's just an administrative problem, isn't it? Whereas if it becomes part of a bigger kind of legal framework, or you know, they'll do what they need to do, depending on what their objectives are. That's what I mean. You know, if there is this giant global conspiracy, then we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
There's definitely global shit going on as a result of events in America.
Oh, definitely.
Anecdotally, you speak to shop owners and online business traders and stuff, and people are feeling a bit of a pinch in the pocket, which is interesting to me. It's like, you know, why would that happen? You know, your average vape shop in your local town, why would they see a
I get people
know.
every day saying, "Isn't this bad for you now? Aren't people dying now?" And I'm spending more time telling people that it's not killing people than I am actually telling them how to use the devices or selling the devices to them. You know, I've got grandparents who've been smoking for 50 years. Their kids are telling them to give up, and then their grandkids come in and go, "No, it's bad for you now."
See, this is why you're a professional and I'm not, Kaz. You see, after about the third person, I'd start dicking about. It'd be like, "Isn't this going to kill me?" I'd be like, "Yep, yeah, fucking check this out. See that? Death. I'm gonna die young."
Aerosolized death.
I'd just be knobbing about with it, and I'd be introducing a juice line, you know, an in-house juice line that would just be like TB bro and stuff like that.
TB bro.
Just diseases and stuff, and be bankrupt within a month, because that's the kind of guy I am. Whereas you have the patience to explain it all thoroughly and, you know, reference research papers and shit. I don't. I'd just be like, yeah, probably, but you know, you could get knocked over by a bus, couldn't you?
You should see the size of my therapy bill having to deal with some of the people I have to deal with. Oh, honestly.
Oh dear, I'm just catching up on chat. Good evening, Raj. Good to see you, buddy. Blame that idiot in America for all the crap we have to put up with. Agreed. Matt, I was told by a colleague who was smoking that he gave up vaping because he was worried vaping would kill him. Hashtag moron. I've found Martsky. I found more people I speak to are starting to realise that vaping is safer than inhaling smoke from something on fire. You'd assume, wouldn't you? You'd assume, but a cigarette does have a filter, to be fair, so that must be filtering out all the cancer.
Of course.
Wouldn't it be interesting though if, like, in about 40 years' time, we all actually did develop a new disease that hitherto has not existed? Wouldn't we feel like proper twats then? I think we should. I think we should exercise caution in you know, our discourse. Well, we could end up with egg on our face. Well, you know, a literal egg growing or something. And then we'd feel like, right, I'd feel like a prick anyway.
Well, you just go back to the 1950s adverts of doctors advertising cigarettes. Like, it's like 4 out of 5 doctors recommend Camel. Like,
But to be fair, for the British Heart Foundation, for the cancer charities, they've clearly done their own tests. They've done, and okay, they're only short term. Don't get me wrong. And for them to be promoting it, for the NHS to some degree, to be promoting it, fuck it, they've put vape shops in hospitals, so they're condoning it to a degree.
yeah.
Unless it's this.
I don't think it really is as much of that. I mean, the thing is back in the 50s when people were smoking a lot and they didn't really know whether or not it was bad for you. They didn't have the technology that we have now to do those tests. Now we have such advanced medical technology to do tests and to extrapolate results and to predict what it's going to do. I mean, if what we vape changes, then yeah, fair enough. Then you change your tests. But up until that point, I think that the research can be trusted.
So, sorry, Mick has taken comment of the show. 40 years' time will make me 104. So I don't care. Greta rules.
I also liked Vape Fast, Die Young.
Vape fast, die young.
Sounds good to me. Roger already feels like a proper twat, and he says that all research indicates it's safer alternative to smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's a risk I'm willing to take because I know for sure that if I smoked cigarettes, I would die young. There's just no two ways about it.
Yeah.
So,
At least now you don't know if you're going to die young for sure. You just hope that you just don't look like a twat in the process.
I've got other things affecting my life expectancy, anyways. Like nicotine's just not a big fucking deal.
Mark,
I'm a poorly man. It's just fuck it. You know,
Mark said the Royal College of Physicians has set their 10-year report is due soon. I think that's what everyone is waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no one's died of vaping in the last 10 years, so... also think about the money we're saving on vaping. Sorry.
Let's try again, Raj.
Try. What's the saying? Quit smoking, they said. You'll save money, they said.
Alex is not the poster boy for saving money with vaping.
So, yeah.
No comment.
That drawer of yours.
The missus watching. Sorry.
But you got to remember, Mark, we don't care. This is just a business. It's not about the vaping. It's just about the money.
Oh, Lloyd's in chat on YouTube. Says good evening. I thought Vic was on tonight.
Big D vapes. I think only dedicated vape shops should sell e-liquids. No sneaky regs, but just keep it tight. I kind of agree with that.
Well, Danny.
I agree with that, Danny. It's
What about though, if you're on a night out, you lose your setup because you're drunk, 24-hour petrol station is your only hope.
Your only hope.
Then you need to learn to manage your beer better.
I've been in that situation many times.
Yeah.
Don't know.
So, what we were going to be looking at is... Should we talk about this bit now, or should we wait for Chandler? Because I think he might find it quite funny.
Yeah, let's wait for Chandler Bong, shall we?
Right, so in the... Go on, Mark. No, go for it.
First thing, we've all been. How many years worth of vaping experience do we have in this room right now? A fair
25, 30 years.
I wouldn't say that much. Probably 20 odd years worth. Either way, and one of the things that I know I certainly do take for not necessarily for granted, but I don't put much thought behind is cotton. Cotton isn't something that I particularly consider. Now,
I've got a funny story about cotton, haven't I?
back when I had the shops, it was we actually had a conversation with a cotton growing company out in the States. And they sent over probably 8-9 different blends for us to try, and they were going to package it up. No, they weren't. They sent it over in bales. Send it over. You package it over in a sterile environment. Sell it on. Now, back then, this was probably 3, maybe 4 years ago. The reason we didn't go any further with it was because Dale at TYV, who I'm close friends with, had also had the same idea. And it turns out we both contacted the same company, we'd both had the same samples sent out, and we'd both whittled it down to exactly the same choice. So we were both going to end up selling exactly the same cotton under a different name. So I stepped back. Dale carried on. He went with it, and it is still to the day one of my favourite cottons. One of my favourite cottons. Don't you like fuzz?
No, I was just taking the piss out of you, sniffing it.
Oh.
Like it was
Could have
Your
smelled
grandma's gusset or something.
Yeah. I didn't lick my lips after. It wasn't my grandma's gusset.
Oh.
Oh, you've been there too, have you?
Who hasn't?
But no, obviously, I'll probably say that the vast majority of people are buying cotton bacon, or I don't even know what I'm using. What shit am I using? I'm using Cotton Gods at the minute because it was leftover stock, and it's cotton. I don't put a second thought into it. Question to you guys and also to chat: what is your go-to cotton?
Varies. A, on what's at hand, and B, yeah, no, it mainly varies. I mean, if I normally use fusion cotton, which I found to be very good. A little pot lasts fucking ages, and it tears nicely. It compacts nicely for when you're getting it through coils, and there's no cottony after, or that beginning cottony taste.
The
bedding in process. And it's just a nice cotton. It's pretty hardy and it works well. Other than that, I'm not ashamed to say that I'm quite happy to just use basic Muji sheets. You can Scotch roll them. You can get them easily to whatever size you like. They're cheap as fuck, and they do the job just as well as 99% of the other cotton out there.
Good evening, night work. Sorry. Hi.
And sometimes if it's lying around, I'll use a bit of cotton bacon because that's generally what I have in the shop to hand.
Well, I don't use cotton. I only use mesh, and I think cotton uses are fannies.
I was hoping for that response.
I'm kidding. Alex, would you like to give your opinion on cotton? You're unbiased.
It's all right. It's all right. You should buy it. Don't know
Is
where you
it
can get
really
from.
the greatest vaping experience, though? It's a pretty big claim.
I have to say, Lloyd was going on about it, and I was like, well, yeah, it's just cotton, whatever. Send me your tin. And
Lloyd's trying to sell it. Of course he's going on about it.
yeah, but this was before. He was like, oh, this is just, honestly, it's completely different. I was like, it's just cotton. How can it be different? But it is really good. It is edges, TFC, just a little bit. Easy to work with. I actually posted, oh, the group's gone now. I vaped this custard for 14 days on a 0.18 build just to see how far I could take it before we decided to buy it. And the coil was completely fucked, but the flavour was spot on. Absolutely spot on. After 14 days.
Nice.
So what makes Cloud9 so amazing is it what any idea what the blends are?
100% angel pubes, processed 24 times, is all I've been told. Industry
Fair enough.
secret. Yeah, I don't know what he does to it.
Has he just gone down Boots, grabbed a load of cotton balls, and then stretched them out?
If he has done, fair play to him.
Did anyone here used to use cotton balls?
I used to boil them first, pop them in just to get rid of all the bleach off them.
The Boots Pima cotton pleats are actually really good. You know, not far off cotton bacon. I've used that a lot, and just straight up BP grade medical cotton. But I'm a dyed in the wool. See what I did there? See? Yeah. Hey. Muji man. Muji. Always with the Muji. But I have tried Cloud9 and I like it. There's no real bedding in sort of, you get that kind of mank with Muji. You don't really get that with Cloud9, which makes me suspicious of it. But that's fine. That's cool. I wick everything really tight, so I get really disappointed with cotton that breaks easily.
Yeah.
And Cloud9's not so bad, but Muji's the best for that. And I wick stuff so it pretty much deforms the coil if you're not very careful.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Do you have a Scotch roll?
Well, if she's in the mood, more often than not. So Yeah, if I'm working with Muji, I'll spread it all out and roll it and nip off any excess and then wrench it through the coil, pretty much, and that's what I do. But I looked when I started doing the Pilgrim Vapes thing. It was a bit of a laugh. I looked into doing cotton, and I was speaking to an importer in Liverpool. I had this big long conversation over a couple of weeks with them and tested samples and shit, and we were talking at cross purposes, it turned out. And so I was ready to order this particular kind of I think it was Pima, I can't remember. And the conversation went on, and he was talking, 20 this, 30 that, and I finally twigged. I was about 2 messages away from committing to buying a fucking shipping container for about $30,000 or something.
Wow.
I was like, no.
You see, the conversation we had, the problem with it wasn't the actual cotton and the weight of the cotton. It's the fact that you were shipping air. So you'd fill, I think each box was 20 kilos. So you got 20 kilos of fluff in a box. And
Wow.
MOQ was probably 10, 20 boxes, something like that. But that was enough for like 1 million tins of cotton.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrifically expensive. It was the shipping. The shipping was horrific.
I remember telling my beloved, and I was like, "Could you imagine that? You come home and there's like a legit big shipping container just parked at the front of the house."
What the fuck do you do with
You've been living in it.
What the fuck do you do with 30-foot container of?
I can't. I'll have to dig out the old email to tell you the exact quantity. It was fucking ridiculous.
But again, it wasn't. Do you remember the conversation on price? It wasn't overly expensive.
No, it didn't. It didn't seem that bad, until until I realised what the fuck was going on. I think I just started some new meds and stuff, and everything was a bit weird at that point. It was like, wow. Imagine if I'd have bought it though for Percy use, man. It'd probably last longer, like MTL setups, than I'd live. Right. So yeah, cotton. It's not really something I give too much thought to. However, I am, and not just because Alex is a mate and Lloyd's all right. Love you, love. No, Cloud9's nice, but yeah, I'm open to. I'll try anything twice, mate.
You see, for me, mouth to lung, I don't really give a shit because I don't believe in all the years of vaping mouth to lung the cotton makes that much of a difference other than the longevity.
It's not going through that much strain. When you're hitting it up to 500-600 degrees in a 0.1 build, it's taking a lot of punishment.
Here's a question: Have you tried silica recently? Have you gone back to try a silica setup?
No, not recently.
I did last year, and it was pretty foul, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
You see, I always had issue vaping silica. Always.
There was a vaping cotton company brand. I think it was called like Texas Tough.
Yeah. That was incredible.
I hated it. It took so long to get it wicked up.
But it was completely heat resistant as well. So you'd wick it, come in a little puck, plastic puck.
Yeah.
And have you tried Texas Tough?
Mm-hmm.
So it come as almost like a block, a compressed block, and you'd have to cut it horizontally as well as vertically, and you'd have to pack it in. You pull it through your coils. You put your juice on. Your juice would just run off it.
Yeah.
So
you pulse it.
You literally had to dry burn the cotton to start that capillary action going to draw the liquid into it. But that was one of the best. One of the very good.
Yeah.
Shadows, pretty hype. That was the hype cotton du jour once upon a time. Shadows.
Shadows.
Remember Shadows?
No.
Oh man, maybe I'm so elite that didn't even know. Fucking hell. Oh, where's Cotton?
You pretentious cunt, you.
Not at all, mate.
So let's go back through before we say hi to Chandler.
Hi, Chandler.
So going back, Muji, Dale's Holy Fibre.
Holy fibre, Batman!
It just reminded me when you said silica, because it's not cotton, it squeaks when you try and roll it.
Oh, I can't use that stuff. It catches
Tell
my
you
throat. Yeah.
It's weird. I'll
Yeah,
give you that. It's weird.
Did you just
This
stick
is the
your
same.
fingers?
Thanks to jacking off to your stream for joining us. I hope you feel good for that. So we have got. I've lost my point. Muji, Fibre Freaks, Muji, Raj's on Cloud9. Mick is on Bacon and a big bad emoji for emergencies. Diddy's on Lilies. Now I don't know if that's.
He's also on Belly Button Fluff and the Cotton Buds. And the cotton off the end of Cotton Buds.
I don't know if
Did he put Lillettes? Are you sure he's not taking tampons
I
apart?
thought that.
Yeah.
Mark Ski Royal Wick because it's free. Orgy Flash Wicks. I found the best. No dodgy taste. Zero break-in time. I've never come across Flash Wicks. The stuff on the end of Cotton Buds. Raj is saying Cloud9 is the tits. Tried Royal Wick, but it was way too weak. I was wicking a coil.
Belly button fluff.
Belly button
I still have
fluff.
a bag of Tesco's cotton balls that I use in an emergency.
Thank God you didn't say a bag of Belly Button Fluff.
No. Tesco's cotton balls, and they're fine. There's very little difference.
Dale says he was joking about Fibre Freaks. It's total shit.
Oh, okay. Native Wicks.
Never liked Native Wicks that much.
I like Native
Never
Wicks.
tried it.
Didn't mind it. Anyway, if anyone wants to give Cloud9 Cotton a try, where can it be purchased?
eBay.
Vaporbay.uk.
Ah, there you go.
There we go. Right, Cass. I'll leave you to do this. We're not sharing the video. Happy to share the link. Happy to talk about it. But we're not broadcasting the video.
That's sad.
Oh,
We've waited for you,
on.
Chandler. We've waited for you.
So
waited for me, but we're not. So hang on, you've waited for me, but you're not going to do it. So
Yeah, 'cause we wanted to talk about it when you were here.
Oh,
So
okay,
if
cool.
if anyone hasn't seen, the video went up last night and it's since had about 1,400 views, 1,400 views, of some absolute genius has cut together a bunch of Vaping with Vic videos just for the most hilarious result. And it perfectly portrays the man. It's probably the most truthful video about him ever released.
Well, to be honest, he said the shit in the first place.
Yeah.
Had he not said that shit in the first place, the video couldn't have been made. So basically, it's just a collection of comments that Vic has made.
Yeah, pretty much. And some of it's not even that cut together. I mean, the whole thing of what is it?
No.
Like, it's not about vaping. It's about the money. I could shut down any channel.
I'm sure that
Facebook
comment. I'm sure that comment was about other reviewers.
Oh, it's always about other reviewers. The winning quote is, "I could do this on my own like I did in the old days, and I would have 6 or 7 viewers." I mean, if anyone is on any of his social media things, has he commented about it? I looked on his Twitter. He hasn't commented about it on Twitter. The video's still there, so he hasn't copyright striked it. Yeah.
Viv, does that mean I have to voluntarily watch him? This would be the only video that I would recommend that you do watch.
Yeah.
It's not on his channel, so you're not promoting his channel or anything like that. It's separate, and it is worth it just for the.
How
shits and giggles.
I don't understand how anyone's not seen it yet. It's been all over the place.
So the guy's a cunt. Don't even bother to give him airtime. He'll always be a cunt. Fuck him.
I have a lot of time for Vic Mullen. He's a customer of both myself and organisations I work for, and as such, I accord him a certain respect. He's very good at what he does.
Alex, who are you getting on our show, man? what is
He's
this?
entitled to his opinion, right? Yeah. I'll be honest.
Look, I
right.
know.
Some of the earliest reviews.
No, I agree.
The very fact we're discussing him proves my point.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I
agree.
Like kind of. I've never been one for kind of jumping in and booting someone just because everybody else is. I mean, he's a character, and if you accept him for what he is, then that's fine. As with all people willing to put themselves out there on YouTube in the vape scene, you know.
Yeah, you open yourself up to it.
And he's good at what he does. So I ain't gonna be jumping in and stamping on the guy.
No, that's fair.
I mean, I have certain issues with the way he does things at certain times and stuff, but he's all right. He's just a dude on YouTube, isn't he? Talking about vaping stuff, and a lot of vape content is and a lot of there's a market for that sort of thing, you know. So let him get on with it. There you go. That's my 2 pence.
That's fair enough.
Controversial.
It's nice to have contrasting opinions.
Green gets on me tits though.
What?
Really?
And I don't know.
Right, hang on a
why.
minute.
I really like him.
Hang on a minute. Vaping with Vic is absolutely fine, but Grim Green just boils your piss.
I mean, nah, I'm pissing about. There you go.
So with Vic, I think there's a lot of hate for Vic because of the way he's conducted himself in the past. Some of the things that he has done, very, very publicly, is, let's be honest, cuntish.
Yeah.
No one's going to disagree with me on that. You know, I've been in hangouts with him a long time ago. Don't get me wrong, and he was from that level of 1-to-1. Yeah, he was a nice guy. You know, how much of it is perhaps persona? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not.
Do you think he's owning the bad guy thing? Do you think he's owning the drama and realizing it works for him? It works for his channel.
It does work.
Yeah.
Probably watched a few Jay Hayes videos.
Rogers just said, what pisses me off is the fact he takes a pop at Mark and Dean. Now that was one of my issues. You know, the things that he has quite openly said publicly was, like I said, cuntish. But it's drawn in drama, and I'm sure, no doubt, from people that didn't know who he was, from that video going out, he'll probably get hundreds of new subscribers from that.
And remember, for every one he loses, 5 or 6 replace them.
That's true.
I think the only way I could possibly match channel growth would be to get my dick out.
No. Let's put a block over him, and
And it would be.
I would.
The same awful kind of like, you know, lowest common denominator reasons, wouldn't it? Like, let's look at this vile thing.
I mean, to put it in perspective, the sort of atmosphere in the chat at the moment, I've never had to add the permitted term cunt so many times in such a short space of time.
Can we just not blanket her?
No, because one of them's cunt with a full stop, one of them's cunt with a comma, one person put cunt idiot. So
Well, I mean, I don't particularly like Alan Partridge, but I'm sure Steve Coogan's really nice. And I think And I think vaping with Vic is a little bit the same. He's got his online persona, the person he turns into when he's on camera. And like Mark said, when you're talking to him one-to-one, he's probably
But does that forgive
he's probably Mr. Mullins.
Does that
I would
forgive the
love to
attacks on
see-
everyone?
An Alan Partridge vape review.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That would be epic.
And here we have a new atomizer. I can't do Alan Partridge impressions, but you know.
Looking at Social Blade, he's actually lost subs over the past few days. Only a few.
Matt Emery puts, as a company, I would not want to be associated with him in any way. Also, being a twat means I would never buy any product he has made, even if it was brilliant. Not good business. Got to remember, Matt, he doesn't care. Looks like a new host next week, says Jono. And Diddy says he's like Mr. Ben.
Well, Vic,
He's like Mr. Ben.
Terrify me
No, I
when
think he means Alan Partridge.
I was going to say,
right, okay.
Vic was actually one of the founding members of Vape Talk UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go back on the channel.
Yeah, you don't even
There
need
you
to go
go.
back into the channel. You type in Vaping with Vic on YouTube, and Why I Left Vape Talk UK is one of the top videos.
Yeah.
I
But
think
he was
left-
only in it for what, 4 episodes?
Yeah, but it wasn't getting the 7,000 or 8,000 viewers a week he wanted. So
Yeah,
left.
it wasn't that big back then. So anyway,
No.
question for you,
Yeah.
and I know the answer, but so it's kind of a rhetorical question. What happened to 5 pawns?
To what?
5
the
pawns.
real question is, does anyone care what happened to 5 pawns?
I quite like 5 pawn stuff, but it's too
5
expensive.
points?
Before or after? Before or after the whole.
Well, it's a long time since I've had any, so probably before.
I went on a hunt today. Just very quickly. I've got too many screens open. In chat, does anyone? Sorry, the
What's
audio.
5 pawns?
What?
5
Chandler?
pawns is good.
Chandler?
What?
Get in the bin.
It's a 5 pawns K-Fun. Surely you've seen that. They're still
Okay.
pretty big in the States, aren't they?
So for anyone that doesn't know, 5 Pawns were a juice company that seemed to pride themselves on being a higher class of vape liquid. They steeped all their juices for 2 years
in oak barrels.
in oak barrels, and they were very posh flavors and yada yada. And they were at every expo, every vape jam, every convention you can think of. They were there.
However, back in 2015, an external company did some testing on their e-liquid, and it was found to be absolutely riddled with diacetyl and AP. Now, because of that, they actually withdrew Absolute Pin, Bowden's Mate, Castle Long, Gambit, Grandmaster, Queenside, Lucina. They withdrew them all. Now, were they reformulated? Because I did a search earlier, and they're still available. For 10 mils here in the UK, 50/50, they're $5.99.
Yeah.
10 mil.
And you can still they still do that
Really?
ultra expensive rare type one. Is it Castle Long Reserve?
Yeah.
It only comes out like once a year or once every 4 years or something crazy like that.
And their short fills are
Are they?
$19.99.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I begrudge pay. I hate buying juice anyway. In no way I'm spending that on it.
I've actually got a box here set for you.
Have you? Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you.
He's also got a box there sat for me.
His box is bigger than yours.
Arf.
All right.
But short fills. I mean, this is what I don't get about short. This is what bothers me a little bit about short fills. Is I can still get hold of Capella V1, which is still busted, still full of diacetyl, as far as I'm aware.
Yep.
And how do you know that any short fill that you're getting hasn't got diacetyl in it? Because a short fill can have diacetyl in it. It's not regulated against, is it?
You can tell
Well,
because
it
it don't
should
taste as good.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I
Well-
was saying earlier about the next iteration of the TPD,
Mm.
and short fills possibly becoming regulated under it. But
But
I
then we're still going to have the same problem. Excuse me. I don't know if you've noticed, but bottle shots are becoming more and more and more popular. You know, you can. I know, Chandler. Do you use Dark Star or one of
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
And you can get, what are they, 250 mils?
You get it's a 250 ml bottle with concentrate in the bottom, and you just top it up with your PGVG. Off you go, and your nicotine,
go.
obviously. There
There we
you go. Yeah, I've got some, but they're in the other room.
So they're becoming more and more popular. So would they fall under the same legislation as... I know we're going back to the original story that we were talking about an hour ago, but, you know, will they still be under the same legislation as short fills? Obviously,
They're
we
not
Yes,
short
know.
fill.
depends how they're marketed and sold. If they're sold as
Be right
food
back.
flavourings, not to be used for vaping, then surely it could skirt around the rules.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't know what my point was with
Yeah.
that.
No, I'm with you. It's what you're marketing, because it's obviously the Capella I get is just a food flavouring.
Well, even on chefs, if you buy some of
So-
the custards, it says this is not for vaping, even though it's a vaping
Oh,
website.
does it say on it
No, on the
I haven't-
website.
on the website? Okay.
Reg
No, I haven't
is
seen
saying,
those.
don't think so, as there's no PG or VG nicotine in the bottles. You know, Capella is a food flavouring. That is what they
It's
do.
Yeah. They didn't start as a. They're kind of now synonymous with vaping, but Capella was around before vaping started.
And their
all of these
flavours
flavours.
weren't designed to be vaped.
well, TPA was the perfumer's apprentice, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
perfumer's
Perfumers,
apprentice,
you
yeah.
know, aromas, which is, you know.
And you,
But I
and
think that there'll be a strong sort of legal case for intended use and stuff, won't there? Like, it'd be very unlikely. Let's say, I don't know, in the States where like Massachusetts and stuff, I would probably think if that kind of thing was everywhere, it would be very difficult to argue your case if had an establishment that sold vaping hardware, sold separate VG, separate PG, and nicotine. Very difficult for you to argue your case that there was no intended, no intention to put the ingredients together to vape the fucking stuff.
so where does that intention come from? Does that intention come from the manufacturer or from the retailer?
But you can't enforce it. It's like
I would say the retailer, because they're the ones bringing and presenting all the ingredients together in one place.
it's like nitrous oxide for whipped cream. You can't sell it if you know the intent is for it to be inhaled. But how do you prove that?
Well,
Well,
go, TPD.
This is why we have lawyers who are very rich.
I mean, even in my shop, right? I'm not technically allowed to put nick shots in bottles for people because that counts as selling them a juice that has more than 10 ml in it with nicotine in it. I can't even really, I mean, if you go by the letter of the law, suggest that the nicotine is to be mixed into it. They have to technically ask for it. I mean, obviously, we say, do you want a nick shot with that? And they'll go, yep. And then we give it to them, and then it's up to them to mix it. But technically, I cannot mix it for them, pre or post purchase.
What about doing builds for people and stuff? Is that still allowed these days?
Yeah,
Do
because
I
it
know?
is.
I
Yes,
remember
it was only in the States where they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
They had to have someone. They had those people with those signs around their neck saying, "I don't work here. Ask me to help."
Yeah, a few years ago, I started a Facebook group for disabled vapors, and it's dead now. But
Okay.
hopefully they're all right. Checked in a while. Might post something later, actually. Make sure. But Nick Bassett from whatchamacallit? What's Nick Bassett's channel called? Thingamajig. Dude with the big beard and the flesh tunnels. Oh, Nick, mate.
That
Can't
doesn't.
remember.
That
In the
doesn't
vaping
narrow
world,
it
that could
down.
be anyone.
A total mental blank.
got a big beard.
Dennis in chat has just said it doesn't matter here in the Netherlands. Concentrates or flavorings can't be sold in larger bottles than 10 ml in vape shops. If you sell them in a different place where there's no vaping association, the exact same can be sold in larger bottles.
I think that's even VG and PG in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
only in 10 ml out of a vape shop.
God, imagine how many bottles that is to make up juice.
Yeah, Attenborough's not.
Oh
happy
come on!
about
I
it.
used to go into Tesco's and buy VG in a 250 ml bottle for £1.
You can go to
Boots
Boots and buy it for £2.
Boots. Yeah. Did I say Tesco's? I meant Boots.
What was I
But
saying?
yeah.
That Nick was.
Dunno, mate.
Anyway, he fought some battle in his local vape shop and managed to secure the rights to do builds for disabled vapors and stuff, which I thought was very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I very rarely, very rarely ever go into. Well, I don't go out much anyway, but I very rarely go into vape shops. So I'm completely out of touch with what's actually happening in the real world. Vaping for me, and it's only I only really got into the sort of Facebooky side of stuff and forums initially, but I only got into all that once I'd given up teaching and stuff. And so most of my vaping career, I was completely out of touch with any of it. But now the vaping thing for me, YouTube and social media, that's what informs me. So I'm totally out of touch with what actually happens in shops and shit, which is weird. So whenever I go to a vape shop, I'm always intimidated, which is ridiculous. And I always feel intimidated, and I'm always weirded out by the whole thing. Like you mentioned, some offering Nick shots. It's like I really like Anarchist Pink. All right, that's one of my dirty treats. Like Mad Bear Clouds Anarchist Pink. Right, every now and then. So I
Best
bought
juice
myself-
ever.
I won't go that far, but it's up there. But I bought myself a bottle and went into this vape shop to get it, and it really weirded me out when he said, "Do you want Nick shots?" And I went, "Yeah," and he went, "Like two for 150." I went, "No." I'm not paying for it. I'm paying for that. No.
But legally, you can't give them with them free, even if you charge a
Can you not?
penny for them. No, they have to be separate chargeable items.
I don't know any of this.
So you could charge a penny for it and you'd still be legal. I mean, my shop charges £2 a Nick shot.
Bastard.
Really?
£2? Bloody
£2 a
hell!
shot. £2 a Nick shot we charge.
Yeah, fuck it. I tell you, man, the sub-ohm revolution and Nick shots, businesses should not be shutting shops, should they? Fucking hell.
I mean, the thing is, though, Nick shots have killed our DIY customers. So yeah, I want to make up 100 ml of this in a 12 milligram. Right, you're going to need 90,000 Nick shots. Here's your PG VG and concentrate. They're like, nah, mate, can't be asked. The only people that
Do you
do
sell
it are the people.
concentrates?
Yeah, basic
See,
vampire.
I've never. None of
single
my
shot
local
things.
vape shops sell concentrates.
Don't get too excited. I mean, it's just like, oh, here's the vampire vape Heisenberg in a Nick shot. Here's TG's
knock it.
vegetarian.
Why wouldn't you get excited about that?
My missus survives on that stuff. Won't vape anything.
I
else.
vape Heisenberg. I love it. I just don't think the concentrate from Vampire Vape tastes the same as the premix.
It does. Mix it right, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah, mix it right and it's spot on.
it's about 13%. I think is right for Vampire Vape, isn't it?
They did a fancy. I remember they did a fancy 250 ml bottle. It was a
Glass
big
bottle. Glass bottle.
Glass
yeah.
bottle.
Yeah, I
I
want
got one of those and I must have chucked it away because can I find it anywhere? Can I help?
I bought 5 of those, and I'm pretty sure it was Fest. They got them at Fest, and I bought 5 bottles of it, and that lot lasted me up until just before Christmas.
Wow.
And I'm talking, I bought that back in
Years.
2015.
Years. Yeah. It's been a good 3 years since they stopped selling them. It was pre-TPD, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm vaping Heisenberg now. But yeah, it's a weird thing going into vape shops now. I feel weird going into other vape shops because they look at you like you're judging. I'm like, is that how I am to my customers? Do I look like I'm judging them? Luckily, So go on, Chandler.
I was going to say it's weird when you go into a vape shop,
Hmm.
and they obviously treat you like a customer.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we
No,
are
I am.
anything. Yeah, no. I'm not. No. I'm not saying we're anything. I'm not saying we're anything special, but we obviously know what we're on about with vaping. So when you're going in and they're going, oh yeah, have you tried this new Smok 20 TF 27 or whatever it is with the mesh coil that does this, and I'm like, yeah, not my bag.
Yeah,
And,
nothing puts me off a vape shop more than when they try unsolicitedly start shoving products at me. I'm like, I'm gonna look, and if I want something, I'll ask for it. Otherwise, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm quite happy to have a conversation with them, but when they go, "Oh mate, you want this," and then they shove it on the counter, I'm like, "No, I'm leaving now."
Yeah. Oh, come on, have you not tried that? You know, if you want a proper mod, you want a Smok mag. Definitely get a Smok mag
in pink.
I was vaping my Satburn 14500 with the Dwarf 16 on it, and they were just looking at me like, "Look at his tiny penis." And I'm just like, you know, it was a weird experience.
But I think the one thing that I do like about my shop, and there's not many things, but there is one thing, is that we don't have bar stools, we don't have sofas, so you don't walk into a vape shop full of the regulars, which make it an intimidating experience. I mean, I've walked into vape shops before and had to push past the regulars at the fucking counter just to get served.
And do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I think it's a good thing. I think we get regulars who come in and they'll stand around and talk and stuff, but we're not got people who are sat there for 3 or 4 hours just on the counter vaping all day, because that does put off a lot of the customers who wouldn't otherwise, you know, someone, little old Doris who's just in there to get her 18 milligram tobacco flavour.
You see, I know of a particular shop, I'm not going to out that particular shop, very large chain, and they have a 10-minute rule. If you're in there for 10 minutes or more, you're asked to leave.
Wow.
What?
See, I'd never do that. I'd never ask anyone to leave.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, and it's
Shut the
one.
fuck up.
It's one that
No.
is quite well established in your area, I have to say.
In my area?
Chandler, well, that sort of Yorkshire end of.
I'm gonna have to start going into vape shops and timing myself. Just to,
Make sure it's only timing you're doing.
I'm gonna go in and it's like, right, hang on, 10 minutes. Let's see what we can do here. It'll be one of the city centre shops, isn't it? I'm assuming. Because they're the ones that
I don't know where they typically are. I know the one one of the ones in the local area where I am are city centre. Doesn't mean
you're trying to give me clues without giving it away, aren't you? And failing completely.
Did you ever come to my shop?
Yes.
There was the closest vape shop to my shop just up the road.
Damn it! Don't know what the closest.
If
vape
I just
shop
start
was.
shouting
Shop.
out big chain companies, will you nod?
There's absolutely no vowels in the name.
No vowels in the name.
None at all.
Okay.
Vubzers.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it's appalling, and they should be condemned for such.
Yes, that is disgraceful.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought Kaz's shop sounded pretty fucking hostile, actually. No chairs, there's nothing. There's no one there to greet you.
If someone wants to come in and hang out and talk, fine, no problem. But we don't. I've never been a fan of walking into a shop and having 5 or 10 people sat at a counter.
Yeah.
Well, I quite like it. I quite like a vape. I mean, one of the shops, it's not there anymore. But I used to go into the shop. They had a sofa. You walked in. They always had filter coffee on. And as soon as you walked through the door, it was like, after I'd been a couple of times, as soon as I walked through the door, there'd be a mug got out as I came through the door. But you know, when you went in, it was like, "Do you want coffee?" I was like, "All right then." Yeah, and they were
You got 10
encouraging you
minutes.
to. Yeah, you got 10 minutes. Yeah, no, they were encouraging you to come in, sit down, and chill. Which, for me, was a nightmare because I always ended up going, "Yeah, oh, fuck it, I'll have one of them." I always left with something, even when I just went in for 10-minute chat. I did end up buying something.
Oggy, no, not VPZ, not VPZ.
Went to quite a cool vape shop in Copenhagen, which was a shop at the front with a big door at the back, and then it was a coffee lounge, vape lounge at the back. So all the sofas were there.
That's what I'd like to open, a coffee, primarily coffee shop and vape shop secondary.
Now, we spoke about that, but then you're alienating your customers that don't want to vape, and chances are you're going to get more people through the door who don't vape than do.
I'm just happy if you can get in one of these shops in a wheelchair or something. Because it could be a fucking nightmare. Some of it.
As we got quite a wide door on our shop, and our shop was a good size, wasn't it, Chandler? It wasn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But we got this annoying lip at the bottom of the door.
Yeah, you had. I tripped over it.
We had this annoying lip, and whilst we'd done our best to be disability friendly, other than having to get a sheet of steel out, but we had to know that people were coming and everything else, because once you'd hit that point of return, they'd then have to get that sheet of steel in to get in, they'd have to reverse back towards the main road, and yeah, it was just a nightmare.
Here's an interesting question that might not actually be interesting once I actually get it out there. Do you think do shops cater to a certain classification of hobbyist vapor, do you think, or do they lose them all to YouTube and the internet? Internet ordering.
From my own personal experience, our hobbyist clientele has died completely.
Yeah.
It's mainly because the hobbyist products just aren't worth getting in the quantities they used to be. Mechs are dead in shops, I think, unless you specialize in them or you've always done them. They're dead. Rebuildables, we have a very limited stock, again, because online, we can't compete with online when it comes to that. So that's my own experience anyway. I mean, it might be different for other shops, other people.
That's the way we went, and we specialised in mechs, we specialised in high-end, we specialised in rebuildable, and in the end, all our mech, rebuildable and higher-end stuff, we didn't even bother putting that in the shop. It just wasn't worth the shelf space. It all went
just
out.
selling it online.
All went out online. We had bits and bobs on the shelves, but the vast majority of it was mass-manufactured Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what sold.
Got to think about your bottom line.
The trouble is, I like going into shops to look at what have they got, and it's like, what have you got that's rebuildable? And I've been in a couple of shops where they haven't got anything. Literally. Oh no, we don't do that. Do you sell wire? No. What? No wire?
Wilco's is down the road if you want wire.
Yeah, if you want to set yourself up, you can make yourself a barbed wire fence while you're at it.
But even that's changed now, because I used to sell probably I would say anywhere between 10 and 30 spools of wire a week, easily, of basic 24 gauge Cantel. Now all people want, if they do ask for coils, is pre-made coil packs. They want that box with 10 different types of coils in, and they're quite happy to spend money on that.
But they get it in cheap, naff Chinese coils.
Oh, of course.
There's a shop local to where I work. I only know this because a young lad at work went there the other day to get some coils put in. And they were doing Wotofo coils for £3, or handmade coils for £30 for a pair.
£30 for a pair?
I said, you're joking me, you paid £30? He went, yeah. I said,
wow.
£30 for
30
two coils?
for 2 coils.
$28.99.
Christ.
What were they?
I don't know. He didn't know. I'll find out.
That's
They
hilarious.
probably just took the bloody Watofo coils out of the bloody packet and went, these are handmade.
That or their Motrums.
Mine ain't
worth
charging
that.
enough.
Fuck off.
Well, there's not many left. The price of them has risen.
True. I'm going for the scarcity and hype kind of approach.
Got 2 packs here
Yeah.
for 50 quid if anyone wants them.
Incredible.
Hey, did you see
Technically, that's flipping, Alex.
Did you see what I found earlier? Take a look at your live screen, guys.
Oh, hang on. Live screen.
Oh, are those the wood bodies for Danny?
People are
Are they-
actually making bodies out of stabilized wood to replace the metalness. Yeah, metalness of. Yeah, I was quite excited by that.
Is that the mini?
I've seen some really nice ones actually.
I'm not sure if that is the
Damn it.
mini or
I
not.
know-
I think it is. It looks like it. Yeah.
It's difficult to tell, isn't it?
Do they,
trying
do
to
they
see if
not,
the button
do they not
placement
make
are
a
the
sub
same.
version of that anyway. Is it? I guess they mustn't.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure they do a stabwood version, but I'm a pretentious
They
prick.
did the number 6 and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
The number
You know, you
6
can get zap wraps for them,
I don't
where
want
you
to
can just.
fucking zap wrap. What?
So is that literally? Would you literally just thinking? So if would you literally just take that apart, slot the wood bit in,
Yeah.
and put it back together again?
It looks like it. You look at
like a
the
Pico?
mini at the bottom. That's going to have
Yeah.
two rods that run the length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pull the rods out, slide it apart. Jobs are good. I'm sure it's not that simple, but
Until you put it all back together and realise you've forgotten the fire button.
If, like me,
Yeah.
you only buy high-end things for hand checking, then you could do a wrap and just a few filters. Nobody would. Nobody
Yeah.
would know.
Now wrong with a wrap. I mean, got my noisy cricket. Obviously, it came with the leather option.
Cracking mod,
you know.
that.
pleather.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's pleather, yeah.
Yeah. There's no terrible seam where I completely failed to get the wrap to meet
No,
or anything like that. you
no
know.
animals were harmed in the making of that mod. Then
No, only Chinese
Nope.
children. Conscience is clear.
So is that actually, does that fit in with the ideals of being a vegan? It's okay for Chinese children to.
But you're not eating
you're
them,
not
are
eating
you?
it.
No, okay, fine. Yeah, but you
Or
but
any
you
of
could
that-
be licking their sweat off it, couldn't you?
Kinky.
You could, but then
Who licks their mods?
you're doing vaping all wrong there, Chandler.
It's just me that licks my mod, then, is it?
So, Chandler, on the subject of abusing children, have you got any Instagram for us?
Hey, no, I'm not finished yet.
Oh, okay.
He's not finished yet.
I want to do my coil of the week.
Oh,
Huh? What?
I'm doing my
Whose coil of the week?
My,
is this where
my coil of the week?
Your coil of the week. Fine.
You made it.
that's brilliant.
Beat that, Chandler.
What's the
Oh,
resistance
hang
on
on.
that?
I'm not looking. I'm looking at the wrong screen.
About 48 ohms.
I'm still looking at the wrong screen. Why
Is
the
that as
hell?
a breaker for your house mains?
Holy moly!
Beat that.
Okay, but
How many volts you'd need to fire that?
yeah, but when the coil is actually bigger than the mod,
That's right. You just get a welding generator and put the positive and negative on that.
But what I think's actually fantastic about it is look on the left hand side at the bottom. He has truly made
A giant coil.
a giant coil.
You could have at least aliened it though.
I can't remember who first started doing them, but I've seen there's like those are giant ones, but you can get like mini ones that are about that big, and people are wearing them on.
Yeah, we did see
Veins and
those.
They're pretty. They're not pretty cool, but they're pretty cool.
If you get someone to make something like that out of, say, sterling silver, you could have a jewelry line, a vaping-based jewelry line on your hands.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
That's just a bit twat.
No, there is.
someone,
One of the
you've got to.
China companies did rings and stuff, and bracelets.
Yeah.
You could
A
get.
Clapton bracelet or
Yeah,
alien
they exist.
bracelet. Nice.
I once made a fused Clapton out of blue tack. I literally took a big bit of blue tack, stretched it out like 2 meters long, and yeah, fused Claptoned it.
So the day you dropped to one knee and proposed to your other half.
I'm a hula hoop.
There we go.
There you go.
What do you reckon that homes out at?
I actually thought that was an engine to start with. I thought, oh no,
No.
oh that is awesome. I love that.
It's definitely I missed 3-deck posts.
Should we get that for Lloyd so I can propose to his missus?
Shall we? I'm sure we could get one off Wish.
Just get him a flick knife to propose with.
Yeah.
Why? Because he'd need to threaten her. Can you marry me?
Where do you want me to
Well, he's
start
a
then,
cockney.
Chandler?
Oh well, I'm just thinking one of my one of them probably should. Oh, thanks for the cheers. Thanks, Mick.
Thanks for the bits, Mick.
Yeah, one of those posts is quite apt. Go on, what have you got? Should we go with a coil first and get it done with?
What?
What coil?
Did I give you some? I did give you a coil, didn't I? Yeah, I did.
No.
Oh, you're joking. Have I not sent it to you?
Let me double check.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. You late fuck.
One. Sorry, I'm waiting for them
One, two,
appear.
three,
Yeah, there is the one in the middle at the top.
That's a fucking RDA, you gimp.
Yeah, but it's got a coil in the middle of it, for fuck's sake.
Oh my word.
Oh, Jesus, crying out loud. Coil of the week. No, not that one. What the hell are you doing?
There is no. What?
The other one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Fuck me.
Oh. There you go.
So you just thought you'd advertise
Ah.
Pilgrim?
Okay.
No, and look, I picked this. I saw this on Instagram. I saw it. It was posted. It was posted a few days back.
I think that's my Zeta.
It is yours here.
Excellent.
And I've got to say, this is before Chandler knew you were coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent that out
these
this morning.
earlier.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at the spelling mistake.
Where?
Oh, I didn't.
Does it say PC coils?
No, it says no. Doing
Oh yeah, Chandler. See
What?
that gold frame behind me there? You can't see.
Oh,
see
hang
the
on. I'm not
comment
looking. Where?
on my screen. Look. What,
Yeah, yeah.
That's the £1.23 you sent me. I framed it. You see?
Amazing.
Pride
Awesome.
of place behind Boba Fett.
Do you know I'd forgotten I'd sent
I
you
shall
that?
treasure it.
Oh,
Genius.
awesome. Yeah, I'm glad it made you giggle, that one.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, no, I thought that what struck me was the fact that you said looks rubbish, and I'm looking at it going,
Does it?
that it looks all right to me.
It does, but it vapes all right.
Yeah, that's all you need, isn't it?
It's
So-
flattened, but not flattened enough. So and it's twisted over. You can see the ridge on it. I'm pointing there. No one will see, will they?
It's
See
fine.
that though? I'm gonna have to go and edit that. I put no instead of now. That's autocorrect, man.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Diddy, you almost made
But
it.
I haven't-
Ah,
That's the first coil I've made since the beginning of September. Because I had big surgery in my shoulder and stuff, and I'm only just getting movement and strength back in my hands, so I haven't been able to. Which has been an adventure. I've been using stock coils for months.
How did that
Just back
suit
into
you?
the rebuildables and stuff.
Rundown on your top 5 stock coils.
Top
Nautilus.
5. I don't think I've got that many.
Top 3 then.
Nautilus.
Nautilus 0.7s are my favourite at the moment,
Well, I'm
especially
guessing.
with the EVL air restriction thingy, plug-in pin thing. I like them.
yeah, I've seen those. They look clever.
What? You interrupt the train of thought. I've gone now. That's it. What we talking about? Coil.
Coils.
I like the Zenith coils, the Z coils, the Z coils. I like the 0.8 one. That's not too bad.
I am a massive fan of the Smok TFDS 4649244 0.14444 reoccurring coils. Bear Clouds, fam.
No, I always had
Bear
wicked
Clouds.
problems with them.
Is that from the King Prince range or the Queen King range?
You fucking amateur, it's the Joker range.
Oh, okay.
Joke around. The Slide tank was an absolute lifesaver for me because I could change the coil and fill the tank and stuff one-handed.
Nice.
You can manage to unscrew the base and take the coil out and shit without having to use anything but
They are
one-handed
good tanks.
with teeth and stuff. And so I fell in love with that a bit. And so that's number 2. Number 3, I don't know. I can't think. What have I got?
What about your disposable ones that you've been loving?
Oh yeah, the Anakin Gomax tanks. Yeah, I got into them for a bit.
You see, I really rated. Do you remember the Anakin 1.8s?
Yeah, the Doodah ones. They in the gem kit, that one. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Anakin 1.8. Or was it 1.6?
Anakin.
tank?
Nice.
I think they're 1.6s.
The 1.2 ohm Z coils are all right, but I've had dodgy ones and I've had really good ones. They're 1.2. The ones they've just brought out with that massive tank that Mark Todd gave me. Thank you, Mark, if you're watching at some point.
Wait, what?
The Zenith Pro.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
He timed me out
I hit the
and
right-
then removed my moderator privileges.
Literally, right? I went to click and the screen moved up. So I hit you. I can't unremove it. Because someone unremove gas, please.
How can you not do it? You're the
Oh,
Time
can
out,
someone
this is
make me a mod
Kaz.
again?
Cass, have you got...
Someone time me out
Unban.
again.
It was Chandler.
no, I unbanned him.
No, I'd already been unbanned.
You
Oh, for
rebanned
God's
it.
sake.
One person. Okay, Oggy. No one else touch it. Just. All right. I don't think I'm a mod anymore. No,
well, in
wait,
that case-
we're good. We're good.
in that
I'm a mod.
case-
We're fine.
Oh, yeah.
We're fine. Oh, fuck off.
Right, moving on swiftly. What would you like next?
Oh, let's get the horrible mod out of the way. I shouldn't keep showing these. They just keep appearing on my feed.
Now is the lava, yeah?
Yeah. No,
Well, that's the only mod you sent me, so I'm assuming.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What the hell?
The worst thing
Is it
about
me?
Vicious Ant mods is their logo. That
Yeah.
shield ruins everything.
Nah.
It looks like it does look a little bit Smok Mag to me.
It looks like a
Not
turd
that
with the
good.
logo pushed into it.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like the battery door fits properly either.
Oh, that's a battery door?
What's the battery door? No, is it? No, I think it's got tubes underneath it, or I just assumed it got tubes
Right.
underneath it.
Do you know what fadges me about these? Is
price
the
point?
price point for clearly the quality. Look at the holes in that. I've just blown that up a little bit, and you can see holes. And I know it's
yeah.
about a piece of wood being unique and all that jazz, but I'm sorry. Getting the bit.
How much is that one?
If it's any more
It's
than
about 500 quid.
if it's any more than 50 quid, then
The Duke 2, which is what it's called. Yeah, that is the battery door because there's a non-stab wood version of it, which doesn't look that shit.
that's the battery door. Fuck off.
Yeah, because
Is
on the
it?
other side is a screen and fire buttons.
Really? Okay. Look at you knowing more about the mod that I've brought to the show.
I've just gone on the Vicious Ant website.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Smart ass.
It's not. For
I can't
me.
spell vicious. That's the problem.
Although their website's broken and now I can't see it at all.
It's all our 6 to 7 viewers that are watching.
Yeah.
Oh, when I tried to type in vicious ant and it came up with vicious antonym and auto-filled it for me.
It didn't come up with vicious bants then.
No.
Ants.
Here's your banter.
Where's that Stabwood collection? It's not on there because it's a new one.
God forbid they put their new products on their website.
Oh no! I clicked on shop now. It just came up with spare accessories.
Oh, there we go. That looks vaguely like it.
Next up, Chandler.
Oh yeah, $500. That's disgraceful. Right, new products. The one with the black. Do you want to do the video or because
Can do.
majority of them are the. Or should we show? Should we show the mod first?
No, I'm showing the video. The video's playing
All
now.
right. Oh, is it? Okay.
That looks familiar.
Doesn't it? Vandy Vape, Mato RDTIA, single coil.
Hot legs for days.
Yeah,
There you go.
But it's got the mesh. It's got the stainless wicks.
What?
What?
It's got the stainless
A rope.
stainless rope in it. The rope
Oh,
wicks.
okay. We've not got to that bit yet.
There you go. Look.
Oh.
So you've got the stainless. It's an RDTA. I actually saw this.
Fucking
Vaping.
size of it.
It's huge. Vaping Vic, not vaping with.
V1
Vaping V1CK has got one in for review.
That
And
looked like a magic trick. That it got to the end of the video and then it started playing again. So it looked as though it took the cap off. It was like the coil's disappeared.
it's gone. So yeah, so there you go. Right, so I saw that and I thought, now it looks a bit Brunhilde like.
You own the Brunhilde already, don't you?
I've got the mouth to lung Brunhilde.
Do you ever have to swap
Um,
out those steel strips?
No, I haven't done so far, except last time when I cleaned the tank, as I was putting it back together again, one of the ropes slipped out. And as I screwed it back up together, it kind of wedged itself in, and I couldn't unscrew it. I had to really unscrew it, and it started pulling the rope apart. I didn't realise quite how fragile the ropes are.
Okay.
If you poke them about too much, they'll start falling apart.
You see, this is my issue with mass-manufactured Chinese stuff, like the Mato.
30,000 colours.
It's all the colours, all the colourways. There's no need for it.
No.
I think that they've got. Is that far left? Is that brushed or is that white?
That's
Oh,
grey.
it's
Blasted, isn't it?
No, that is
Yeah, I mean,
it's called grey on their website.
So it's
Where's the
painted.
rainbow?
I really do like your argument against the problem I have with China is they provide consumers with too much choice.
I'm surprised
Too
there's not
many
a rainbow
colours. It's
version
ridiculous.
There's no rainbow, so I'll give them
No.
that. So
There
gold
is no
can
rainbow.
get in the bin. The gloss black can get in the bin. Stainless,
That's
no
the
issue
gunmetal.
with.
What about the black one?
The stainless and the brush black, I have no issue with. The rest of them, there's no fucking need. But
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I was after, when I bought the Blotto, I wanted either a black one or a stainless, but when I was trying to buy it, it was like, no, we've only got the gunmetal left.
gunmetal or rainbow. You should have got rainbow.
Or rainbow. Oh, no. Rainbow can go get in the bin. Having said that,
Heat treated used to be
having-
high end.
What did?
what used to be?
Heat treated stuff.
Yeah, there's heat treated and then there's rainbow.
That one with rainbow.
Oh no.
Oh Get in the skip.
I don't think I've got anything that's rainbow. Yeah, forget the bin, straight in the skip.
Cass has got a rainbow STNG heading his way eventually.
Hey.
But I
Is
was
that
looking
what
at
colour
the,
it is?
Huh?
Is that what colour it is?
It is rainbow, yeah. Look. Completely.
Brilliant.
rainbow cars. Ha!
If it's as good as you reckon it is, Marco, I don't mind too much.
Rainbow wanker.
Sorry, no, it's oil slick, remember?
It rhymes with oil slick.
Rainbow wanker.
It's
I
like
was
bus,
looking at it.
It's like bus wanker, isn't it? Rainbow wanker.
Roger and Freddy, rainbow wankers.
What's next?
I was looking at I've got there's some pictures of the Mater. I don't know. Don't need all of them, I suppose.
No, there was
Going
only
back
one
to that
other.
last-
Wasn't there?
You've done that. There's only one left, so that's it. The other one was basically I saw it on V1CK's page, and it is really tall. And you know me, I like my Brunhilde. It's nice and tall. I like my tall latties. I jokingly went, "Oh, please tell me it squonks as well." And then I went and had a look on the page and looked at the spec. Yeah, it comes with a squonk pin.
What?
It
Why,
holds 5.
though?
I know, that's what I thought. It holds 5 ml of juice. So the tank itself holds 5 ml. The majority of squonk bottles hold 6. You're just
8.
going to fill it up once, and then and it's done. It's
And
like
enjoy all that lovely oil from the inside of the steel wicks that are never, ever, ever going to be clean. Nah. I wouldn't touch steel cables with a fucking barge
No.
pole, man.
No.
I'm quite impressed actually how the Brunhilde wicks. You look at it and you think that's never going to wick, but
Oh no,
can
wicking capable. It's all the machine oil inside it that.
oh, the machine oil, right? I'm with you.
All
Yeah.
that steel has had to have been drawn, and there's no way they're going to draw it without lubrication.
No.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You can't
He
touch
said
it. As soon as you
lubrication.
touch, as soon as you touch the cable as well, it just goes. It's just gone.
So the one with the squonk pin, what do the cables extend another sort of 10 mil and go into the squonk bottle? Is that how it works?
Yeah, that'd be good. It's
like
just a ridiculously long pin. I mean, the squonk pin, the center pin goes right the way up to the base. Obviously, it goes to the base of the deck. So it's a really long pin, and so you must have to really squeeze your bottle to get it all the way up, and then it feeds the top of the tank.
Do you not remember the Smock Sky Hook, which was
Yes.
literally an RDA that screwed directly into a tank, which was part of the mod?
Yeah. Look at the size of that on screen now. That is the size of the mod.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No, there's
It
no
is.
wrong with that. No wrong with that.
I quite like the mod, to be fair.
I'm trying
I-
to stick to a £30 rule this year, and like if it costs more than 30 quid, I ain't buying it.
To be
What
fair,
do you think I've been doing for the last 5 years?
To be fair, I've seen it on pre-order at it's on pre-order on a certain website at $38.99. So
Right,
I'm
right.
sure when it's available.
I'm sure there's absolutely nobody in chat that wants to buy one. If you want to buy one, type yay. If you think it get in the bin, nay. Let's see how many people are with you, Chandler.
I'd rather have the Pyro V3 or whatever it is, dual coil.
Chandler, get in the bin.
Nay.
How are we going?
Nay.
Viv, no. Dennis, no. Raj,
What?
no. Ali,
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 nay.
no.
Andrew,
Wiltsey, no. Matt Emery, yay, get in the bin.
No, he said yay, brackets joking. Vaped Extreme,
Thanks,
gay.
Matt.
Oggy, nay.
Chandler, you're on your own, mate. I am gonna have my say.
Oh, great. I get in the bin. Oh, thank you very much.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
Up on screen for you. Get in the bin.
Thank you. very much. All right.
Get
Well, to
in
be fair,
there.
I did look down. I did look a little bit further down on the Vandy Vape, Instagram, and the last thing I saw was the other RDA that I've shown you that's in there.
Oh, the one I put up first.
one
I
that
didn't mean to.
The one that you put up first. Sorry. And I actually thought that is a single coil RDTA.
The original
What's-
Pyro wasn't shit.
Yeah. What is the major difference between the only difference between that and the Mato is that
It's about 6
it's
inches.
not- 6 inches, and you haven't got the steel ropes. In
Makes
it.
all the difference.
The steel ropes.
I wouldn't.
No, the
have-
6 inches.
I've
But
never had that problem.
It saves you on. It saves you with all that cotton that you have to poke in to go in with an. I mean, how much cotton do you use with an RDTA? Because you have to get it down into the tank.
You never get it down into the bottom though. You just get it just into the holes, and then as you tip it up to vape, which all of us do, that soaks the cotton.
And then it comes out of the filling port.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do, you sit there, you vape it,
You're convenient.
and you pour your juice all over the floor like I do regularly.
Yeah,
That top cap
Yeah.
is just horrendous, though.
Let's bring it back.
I've never come across an RDTA that doesn't just piss out everywhere.
That top cap reminds me of something. Who else did an RDA with that design recently?
I couldn't tell you.
Everyone.
And I'm not talking Castle. I'm not talking old school stuff. I'm talking
Recent.
I
recently.
can't remember. What it
There's
looks like now.
don't know.
Looks like
Anyway.
an armor.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
but no props for the single coil because I really like a 0.4 single coil build. That is for me a lovely build, slightly restricted drip tip, so you get a little bit of warmth.
Yeah.
See, I haven't been vaping like that for ages. I'm only just sort of started to vape like that again. But I haven't really been touching any of my single coil little squonky natties at all. It's either been bare clouds or like mouth to lung. It's a bit odd.
You see, for me, it might have been the drop. I think it was the drop. The drop dead.
Might be the drop. Yeah.
drop,
Similar.
not drop dead. Drop. I think you're
Just
right.
a drop arm, yeah.
I think you're
And,
right. What was I going to say? No, 0.4. For me, that was my go-to build in my either in the armor or what's my favourite RDA of all time?
I don't know. What is your? What is this like a joke? What is it? What is your?
Answers on a
favourite
postcard.
idea? Yeah, happy.
Harker, yeah. 0.4 build. Yeah, 0.4 build is my
0.3, 0.4,
Yeah.
that sort of thing, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like a single.
0.35.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I hold it up to the camera, like you could see that and made that. You know, there you go. Have a look. There you are. It's there. Like my camera's gonna focus on that shit.
We're about on time.
I think we're about there.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't want to go home.
DM's enjoying himself.
I don't get out much. Oh.
Oh bless.
It's getting a bit fucking cold in here, actually.
Where are you? In the
In
country.
one of my outbuildings.
No, in the country. Sorry,
What?
in the country.
1960s Blackpool.
950s. Come on. We haven't hit the 60s yet. On the Fylde coast.
Where's that? File Coast.
Not far from Blackpool.
Oh, okay.
Up from Blackpool.
Before
Not far enough.
Before you get to Morecambe.
Yeah. That sort of
I
zone.
know, I know it well.
You
I
got
love
people.
Morecambe. Morecome's way better than Blackpool.
Yeah.
Got people asking if there's an after party. Is anyone hanging around for half hour or so?
I don't even need to answer that.
I don't think
Oh.
I can move. So, yes.
I'll stop on for a drink.
There we go. So myself, the Messiah, myself, DM, Alex, Chandler, you can stay around for a bit.
Yeah, I can stop for 10 minutes.
Hang around for a bit. But no, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Those of you that want to join us, just hold fire for a few minutes in chat, and I will dump the link for you to follow once we've run the credits. Is it me or does DM look like Rip Trippers?
Amazing.
It's you.
I fucking well hope not. Who said that?
One of our mods. Can you say
Cheers, Ollie.
sick as tits?
It's sick as tits, bro. How's that?
You know that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
It's actually bloody good. RDTA.
They are a bit. Actually.
Awesome.
Okay then, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. You look like Mullen there, DM. Ooh. That was Dennis. That was Dennis. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for Alex for joining us. I'm sure we're likely to see more of him in the near future. DM, our doors are always open. It's been an
Thank
absolute
you for having
pleasure
me. Wonderful.
to have you and chat with you. Kaz, get in the bin. Chandler, get in the bin. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you on Friday.
Bye-bye.
Sick as tits, bro.
VTUK.